Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochim LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'chuni LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzechem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochim LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom and happy Chanukah to all of us. I'm so glad and blessed to see so many of us present here for our holiday. One of the things that has sustained us during this time of COVID has been that in all the times when we haven't been together, we were able to be together through our homes and open ourselves up to be able to be vulnerable to one another, to hear one another, to support one another through what's been a difficult time. And so as we rededicate this holiday of Chanukah, which is really what the essence of the name of the holiday means, which is dedication, we should take a measure of fulfillment and meaningfulness that here in our beloved sanctuary of Solel, and as you join us from home, that we have the opportunity of being open and seeing each other's light even more so perhaps, in being available to one another, in caring for one another, in listening to one another, that light, that divine light will shine perhaps a little bit more strongly, glow a little bit more fully because of what we have endured and what we've experienced. It's particularly meaningful that I think some of us have brought together our Chanukiot, our candelabras for this holiday from our own homes, which of being together, the dedication of the safety, the security, and the support that we all find in the sanctuary of Solel. It's important, I think, to recognize just how important it is to stand up and be counted, to be counted as a light in a light of faith in the world that is sometimes full of a sense of uncertainty and full of a sense of disorientation, that we are each other's light in that world. We are stronger by standing up for our values. We are strong.
Lai 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 lai. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. לי 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 לי
can be a miracle light with a new idea, where we enter in like you. And within that prayer, some of us may even be familiar that those words, the mem, the cha, Maccabee, hidden within our prayer of Michamocha, which the first letter of each of those opening four words actually creates the name of the Maccabees. So with the strength of the Maccabees, with the hope of the Maccabees, with the light of the Maccabees, let us, as a group of Jews in our own day and age, let us have that same sense of faith, of purpose, that faith rise for Adonai Sfatai, and then we'll have an opportunity to just be present in our prayers. So we're gonna move from the Micha Mocha, the prayer of hope, to the beckoning of our tradition and then towards the end of the prayers, you make your way to the ends of those prayers to just, in your own way, be seated as you might otherwise do, and when you reach that sense of meaning and purpose. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, followed by Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, and then to our Amidah.
מיכה מוכה באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך ברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema.
Front as we light our Chanukiot and we share our blessings aloud, please come forward. Anyone who would like to light or anyone who has brought a Chanukah, please come up. As we say our blessings, the Cantor will lead us. Oh. I'm over here. You want to go on the other side, maybe?
One of my students made mine.
You're trying to get to the other side. And I'm fully aware it's the sixth night of Hanukkah, but God will forgive us if we also, as we're together for the first time in a while in our sanctuary, if we also offer our prayer of making the most of this moment, our Shehechianu. Our Shehechianu.
ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Somebody knows the number of the fire department, right? Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to light one of our candles from our large candelabra, our large Chanukah up there. And as we light each of the lights, we're going to also share a song that accompanies each of the lights. Some of those songs can be found in the prayer book, and some of them may be found in the song sheets that you brought with you at the sanctuary. If you don't have a song sheet with you, maybe somebody nearby has a song sheet they can lend you. And we hope that for you at home, that at least you'll be able, many of the words are familiar, at least you'll be able to join along with us in the merriment and the joy being uplifted in the songs of Chanukah. As we think about the lights of Hanukkah, we think of what is that act of faith that encourages us, that inspires us to step forward. I think one of the reasons that we have religion, one of the reasons that we have Judaism in our lives, is that we know that there's a foundation, an anchor of support to which we can return and return and return. This is the springboard that helps to guide us in our lives, to take those acts of courage and dedication. I know that I feel that presence very much here with each and every one of you as being one of those lights, but there's one very special person that I think I'd like to ask. He's become a dear friend and colleague as I've made my way here. I know he's a rock in all of our lives. I'd ask that Rabbi Rosen, our Rabbi Emeritus, come forward and light our first candle of our Chanukah. As he does so, let us sing aloud with the pride and joy, the sustaining force, the foundation of our lives, the rock of our ages, Ma'ot Tzor Yeshuati, which can be found on the top of page 365.
Ma'oz Tzor Yeshuati, Lechana El Shabeha, Tikon Beit Tefilati, V'sham Toda Nezabeha, Le'tachin Madbeach, Mitzar Hamna Beya, Azekbo Beshir Mitzvah, Anu Atam Mizbeach, yes, let us all praise your saving power. Your arm is the raging cause, where our sheltering tower, furiously assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke the sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke the sword when our own strength failed us.
I know as this world goes around and around and around with all sorts of uncertainty and craziness, there's one certain person who's really been a light in our lives that's helped us to not only see our faith, but literally be able to be together in a world that many of us find strange or even uncomfortable and definitely challenging. And so I'd like for our second candle to call forward. He's always behind the scenes, but always a light who's present with us. Matthew Lippman, if you could come forward from behind the veil and light our second candle of our candelabra, of our Chanukah.
I have a little Bible, I made it out of clay, and when it's lying ready, oh dreidel I shall play, oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's lying ready, oh dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when it eats so tired, it drops and then I win. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play.
And he's an ever force in our lives. I think for our second candle, I'd like to come, any of the past presidents that are with us. I see Bob, I know David is here. If you're a past president, if you could join with me up here as we light our next light of Chanukah. Any past presidents? Aha, Rob, fantastic. They steady us in our lives. As we turn to our Chanukah song sheets, it's number 5 on the song list, and also there's an English version, which you can also find accompanying it. Oh, Chanukah, what is it? Where are we?
Chanukah, Chanukah, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, גילי ילד רך. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבון סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, מנעים וטוב. On the other side of the page now. Chanukah, Chanukah, joyous holiday. Children laugh, children sing, children dance and play. Chanukah, Chanukah, dreidel spin around, spin, 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 then fall to the ground.
She may be a little bit surprised that I'm calling her forward, but as we have our 6th song of Light the Menorah, she's an ever-present part of our life. She does so much of the unsung work here. It's a light that helps us to move forward in so many ways. There's nothing I could do without her. If she could kindly step forward. Yes, we all know.
Light, song number 6. light the menorah. It's Chanukah, it's Chanukah, light the menorah. When Chanukah is here, light the menorah. Say the blessing every night, light the menorah. When Chanukah is here, burn a candle every night, light them for all to see. Sing special blessing and sweet song. Now please sing along with me. One more time. Light the menorah. It's Chanukah, it's Chanukah. Light the menorah. When Chanukah is here, light the menorah. Say the blessing every night. Light the menorah. When Chanukah is here.
One of the aspects to, I think, modern Judaism is the fact that the flame of Judaism has always been kept alive by our ability to imagine and open fully our minds and our hearts to who we truly are. I know a lot of us come from traditional backgrounds. Maybe both of our parents were Jewish, or we came from Eastern Europe in our heritages, but Judaism has always been a much richer, more diverse than any single group of people from any single place and any single ethnicity or language even in our backgrounds. I think we're on a dawn of a new opportunity in Judaism, those of us who are willing to keep the flame alive by knowing that our lives are brighter, are richer, glow ever more expansively, by inviting in all those from many different backgrounds into Judaism, especially those as well who even participate in our faith communities, in our Jewish sanctuaries, in our Beit Knessets, in our house of gatherings, even those who are part of the Jewish family but may not themselves even be named in our faith. And so I know when I came to here in Solel, two people, I see one of them here, I think one of them may not be present because she's always doing that extra effort. But one of the reasons I decided to come to Solel was they charged me with saying, we want to be true to our tradition of reform. We want to be true to our tradition of change. We're open, we're ready for that. We want that flame to glow and be bright. And so I'm just incredibly blessed to have these people always by my side. If you could come forward, Marcy, and Jen Chase. I don't know if she's still in the sanctuary. I think she was also helping to put together the oneg. But I could not have imagined the full flame of where we are and where we're going to be. And in that same tradition, there's a song that maybe some of us might be new to or might be unfamiliar with, but I think it speaks fully to that measure of the richness of our heritage. If only I had the song sheet here. Ocho Candelicas, which is not here. Hold on. I don't have it. Where is it? Do we have a copy of it? Yeah, the lyrics are always helpful. Aha, thank you so much. Okay. All right. Can you reach up there? Okay, great. Chanukah linda hasta aquí, ocho candelas para mí. Chanukah linda está aquí, ocho candelicas para mí. Uno candelicas, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelicas para mí. Muchas fiestas por fazer, con alegría y placer. Muchas fiestas por fazer, con alegría y placer. Los paseos por comer, con nuestra casa y la miel. Together, Uno candeliques, dos candeliques, tres candeliques, cuatro candeliques, cinco candeliques, seis candeliques, siete candeliques, ocho candeliques para mí.
Thank you, Cantor.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Okay. And Mi Yamalel on page, where's Mi Yamalel? Let's see here. I think it's on page 364. Yeah, 364. And if before you light us up with music for our final candle, would you kindly, Cantor? Yes?
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't know if I can reach it.
Yeah, I think you can reach it. You lift us up to the heavens. I'm sure you can make it that far. There we go. Okay. Yay. Page 364 in the middle of the page.
מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן, מי ימנה, אין בחדול יקום הגיבור גואל.
Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero sage came to our aid.
שמע בימים ההם בזמן הזה,
In Israel's land,
מכבי מושיע
brave
ופודה,
Maccabees led the faithful hand.
ובימינו כל עם
And
ישראל,
now all Israel must as one arise.
יתאחד יקום
Redeem itself through deed and sacrifice.
מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן, מי ימנה, אין בכל דור יקום הגיבור גואל.
Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero sage came to our aid.
שמע בימים ההם בזמן הזה,
At this time of year, in days of yore,
מכבי מושיע
Maccabees the
ופודה,
temple did restore.
ובימינו כל עם
And today our
ישראל,
people, as we dream,
יתאחד יקום
will
להיגאל.
arise unite and be redeemed.
מי ימלל גבורות ישראל אותן, מי ימנה, אין בכל דור יקים הגיבור גואל.
Who can retell the things that befell us? Who can count them? In every age a hero sage came to our aid. Wonderful. And now, as we always do, we turn to our prayers of our adoration as I ask the congregation to please rise for the Aleinu. Page 282.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Friends, please be seated. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Lord, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the Son of God over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of light, of the light of wholeness, the light of freedom, and the light of shalom, the light of peace.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
As we turn to a mournful meditation, which can be found on page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream to be, and owe to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, what death has touched. On this Shabbat Eve, it's my very sad duty to inform the congregation of the sad passing of one of the leaders of our community, one of the beloved figures, not only here of Temple Solel in our own community, but to the larger family of Hollywood, Carl Schuster, past president. The funeral will be held right here in his and our beloved sanctuary at noon on Sunday, followed by a graveside funeral. All are welcome to attend, and as we will customarily do, we will share his name along with his beloved and cherished family members' names after he is laid to final rest on the following Shabbat Eve and for the accompanying month. The family invites also all those who wish to attend the Shiva immediately after the burial, and there will also be Shiva opportunities for the 2 successive days. So too, we also recognize on this time of dedication that our lives are also dedicated to those who have been taken away from us recently. Ronald Friedel, husband of Sheila Friedel, father of Dr. Alan and Suzanne Friedel, Dr. Lee and Lene Friedel, Ann Faith and John Cahill, the grandfather of 6 grandchildren and the great-grandfather of 6 great-grandchildren. Michael Grover, the son of Billy and Dr. Norman Grover, and the brother of Stephen Grover. Jax Bassey, the father of Carla and R.A. Davidoff, and the grandfather of Benjamin Davidoff. Audrey Green, mother of Lisa Bernstein, Holly Latch, and Gina Green, the grandmother of Brian, Danny, Eric, Matthew, and Lauren, and the sister of Shirley. Sharon Perlman, wife of Robert Perlman, mother of Dr. Bruce and Kathy Perlman, Michael and Susie Perlman, and David Perlman and Stephen Flynn, the grandmother of Jacob, Zachary, Megan, and Samuel, and the sister of Patricia Schneider and Susan Simon. Frederick Lippman, husband of Marlene Lippman, father and daughter of Robin and son Michael and Denise, grandfather of Aryeh, Jacob, Max, Lizzie, and Charlie. To these names, we also add those who passed at this season in years past. Frederick Altschul, Stephen Bader, Barry Boskov, Sheldon Bernstein, Bess Bilodeau, Blanche Brownman, Margie Brown, Jean Drainoff, Lilla Eschen, May Eskin, Jack Fortgang, Anita Garmizo, Emil Gartner, Gertrude Glaubman, Molly Goldberg, Barnett Goldenberg, Erwin Hankin, Vickis Harris, Miriam Kaplan, Charles Katz, Fanny Kern, Gerald Klein, Sarah Kogas, Betty Levy, June Meinstein, Eleanor Niederman, Barbara Peretz, Doris Pollock, Jesse Rodney, Daniel Rose, Louis Rothstein, Alan Rubin, Jack Sachs, Evelyn Schechter, Winifred Silberstein, Mark Siller, Sheila Smith, Florette Stark, Edward Tenenbaum, Esther Taps, Samuel Tunick, Malka Ehrman, Harold Weiss, Lena Wolf, Charles Plost. Are there any other names to add to our mourners list for this Shabbat Eve of Chanukah? Thank you. Would all those mourners, Fran Cohen, would all those mourners present please rise? And I'd ask the remainder of the congregation to please rise alongside our mourners. Our mourners' Kaddish may be found on page 294. Yikadal v'ikadash shemei Rabba, be'amad divrach hirotei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala v'izman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam omei amaya. Yiparach v'ishtabach v'pa'ar v'tramam v'naseh. Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei Dekudasha, Brichu, Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Damiram v'alma v'imru, Amen. V'hei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mermav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who mourn, to which we offer. Amen. Please be seated. We now have a few words of announcements and welcoming from our past president, David Topping.
Good evening. I'm wondering, if it was only the first night of Hanukkah, it wouldn't look nearly as nice as it is when it's later on in Hanukkah. Shabbat Shalom and welcome to our sacred place. As Sondheim wrote from West Side Story, there's a place for us, a time and a place for us, and it's here at Temple Solel. Torah study with Rabbi Plost begins tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. If you can, please join Rabbi here at the temple and be face-to-face with him and your friends as he teaches us. Of course, if you cannot do that, please Zoom as usual. If you plan to attend face-to-face tomorrow morning, please come at 9 rather than 9:30. Jen and David Chase are graciously hosting bagels, schmears, and coffee before Torah study begins. Of course, we'll be back here next Friday evening, December 10th at 7:30, to observe Shabbat together with services led by Rabbi Plost. A huge thank you goes out to a team of Solel VIPs for making an amazing Hanukkah party before services. So many people came together, as we've heard from so many people already this evening, to make this event happen. Coordinated by Johanna Matlau, Rabbi Plost, Cantor Rosen, Laurel Geller, Stephanie Joffe, Jen Chase, Rhonda Sasson, Matthew Lippman. I know I'm missing many, so I apologize. Sisterhood, Brotherhood, Tikkun Olam Committee, Religious School Committee. We appreciate so much the efforts and working together as a team and putting it together. As Sondheim wrote for Sunday in the Park with George, bit by bit, putting it together, piece by piece, only way to make a work of art. Every moment makes a contribution. Every little detail plays a part. Thank you to Dan and Johanna Matlau again for sponsoring tonight's Oneg Shabbat. If you're interested in sponsoring an Oneg here at Temple, for those who attend in person, please contact the temple office and leave a message for me through Anita. I may even be bold enough to ask you directly tonight to sponsor an oneg, so look out for me. Thank you, Rabbi and Cantor, for inspiring us tonight, as always. We know you're around for us. We know Temple Solel is around for us. As Sondheim wrote for Sweeney Todd, nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Temple Solel is there for you. Shabbat Shalom, and thanks, Mr. Sondheim, for a job well done.
As we make our way to our closing hymn this evening, I do want to recognize one other light, an important light. He's sitting there in the back over there. I wasn't sure if he was with us in the sanctuary, so I didn't want to make notice of his absence. But Jason Block, our president, is a steadfast candle for me as a sacred partner and to all of us, and we're indebted to him for all that he does to lift up the divine light in our sacred space, in our sacred abode, in our sacred tradition. He also holds reserves a special place of being a president, not just one, not just two, but a third year. All good things come in threes. I don't know if they come in fours, but they do come at least in threes. He's shaking his head no. With that sense of inspiration and light, let us turn to Light One Candle as our closing hymn on page 367.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children. Give thanks that the light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when the right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. But light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine to our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own home. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain we learned so long ago. Light one candle for all we don't believe in, the end cannot tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace as a song with our heart. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine to our love and our tears. What is the memory of value so highly that we keep alive in that flame? What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? We have come this far, always believing that justice will somehow prevail. This is the burden, and this is the promise, and this we might really not fail. Don't let the light go out, it lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine to our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out, don't let the light go out.
Thank you for all the faith and dedication that you've devoted to our beloved community of Temple Solel. Thank you for the faith that you've shown in your clergy, that you've shown in one another. I am sustained with the reservoir of devotion and strength and courage that each and every one of you has demonstrated, and that those who are with us at home have demonstrated, and being a light unto our tradition, that we may go forward in strength and glow in our joy in the celebration, the support and the comfort and peace that always affords us when we come through the sanctuary doors of Temple Solel. Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Chanukah.